Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and this is my channel where we talk about all the houseplant things. We are here today because I'm doing an update on my greenhouse cabinet. As you can see, it's back here all illuminated and beautiful. I just took out this plant to take the thumbnail photo, so I guess we can start here because this leaf right here is what has motivated me to do this video, because my anthurium that I got from Ecuagenera in California, they are going wild and they have outgrown the cabinet and I kind of don't know what to do now. It's definitely a good problem to have, but I'm kind of like, uh-oh, what do I do? This one is an Anthurium crystallinum, and I think maybe it's a cross. I don't remember. I will have the ID on the screen though. It put out this massive leaf. The leaf that I put out right before this one was this leaf. And so you can see there's a very clear size difference there. So the plant is getting more mature and just putting out insane leaves. It is staying very, very humid in that cabinet, and I think a lot of my success with Anthurium is due to the high humidity of the cabinet. And it is also putting out a flower, which is super exciting because I have another Anthurium in the cabinet that is flowering simultaneously. So I am going to cross-pollinate. It is my Clarinervium. So I have looked up a Clarinervium crystallinum cross, and like it's cool, but it's not like the coolest. Like there's definitely cooler hybrids out there, but I figured I might as well try it. They're flowering at the same time to see if I can even get berries from it. So we will see. I will definitely keep you updated on the process of that one. And speaking of berries, I want to show you because I got berries from my Clarinervium. A lot of them have sprouted. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I don't remember how many I sowed, but I filmed it so I can look back at the video. But as you can see, we have a lot of babies coming up. And honestly, if these all make it, I will either be like selling or probably also giving away a few of these because I do not need 15 or 16 plus Clarinerviums. But yeah, so if they make it that far, stay tuned because I might do like a giveaway or something like that. But yeah, they are so cute. They have all put out, like all the ones that are up, they just have one leaf going. Oh, there's another one over here. Okay, so I honestly thought that it was a lost cause for a while because they just weren't doing anything. This is all occurring while I'm on my maternity leave and like I have a newborn and I'm really tired. So I just was not sure at all how this was going to go because I'm not able to give them like as much attention as I would have wanted. But good news is they have just been thriving on their own. I have them under the mother grow light and then I have the little dome over them. In an ideal world, I would remove the dome and then put this into the greenhouse cabinet, but I just don't have the space for it. I think that I'm gonna have to do some rearranging in there anyway because again, we have some very big plants that are just, it's too big for it in there, and I'm hoping that moving it out to ambient humidity isn't going to ruin things. We will see. Definitely this is going to be priority because I can create like a separate humidity environment for something like this since it's so small. But yeah, so I wanted to update you. We do have sprouts. Hopefully they will continue to grow. If you've been around for a while, you know that the Anthurium regale is obviously very beautiful, but it's one of my problem children. I've always had so much trouble with this plant, but it's just so cool. I love the leaf shape. I just think it's so awesome, and I'm hoping that now that it's living in the cabinet, it will be a little bit more prolific because since I got it, well, first of all, when I first got it, like I didn't want to disturb it too much when I first bought it. This was when I didn't really understand Anthurium or plants really that well. Anyway, it was like one of my like early splurges, and so I got it and I just didn't take care of it as I should have. Anyway, ever since then, it's only ever put out one leaf at a time, and it's been really frustrating for me, and like it's one of the uglier plants in my collection. But I decided that since I was able to figure out Anthurium care for the rest of my Anthurium, like my new ones, I would apply those principles to this plant and see if it really made much of a difference. So this one, I potted it into 3D printed pot that I got on Etsy. I will have this link down below, the Etsy shop link down below, because when I shared about it last time, there was a ton of interest. So I'll share more in the description box below if you want, because I think I'm gonna make another order of these. They're really not that expensive, and the plastic makes it pretty light, and I just think it looks nice. Like, this doesn't look like a plastic pot to me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get some more. Anyway, point is, I put it in a plastic pot so that it doesn't dry out as fast. And then a while ago, I put some sphagnum moss around the base of it, and I could actually move this up a little bit because it's kind of falling down. I don't know what if it's really doing much at this point. And also the last thing is it's now living in the cabinet, which is why it's in this video. So I'm hoping that we will get one more leaf. Like, if it could hold just 2 leaves at once, that'd be great. But we'll see what we'll see what it's capable of doing. Just the fact that this leaf came out so perfect is enough for me. Like, I'm fine with it having 1 leaf if it looks this good. But yeah, so the Anthurium regale is on a new leaf and it's doing super well. Okay, this plant is an Anthurium baecae and luxurians cross. So when I got this one from Ecogenera, it was a plug. And I honestly thought, since it was so small, that it wasn't going to do very well. This was the biggest leaf that it had at the time. Very, very small leaf, very strong small leaf, but small. Then it put out this one, and then we got this one right here, and then the next one was this one. And it just exponentially sized up. Like, you can see compared to my head, it's very big. I don't know what else I could compare it to that would show just like how much bigger this leaf is. It's crazy, and it is so beautiful. I wasn't really a big fan of the Anthurium luxurians for some reason, but this is really nice. I love how dark this leaf is. It's just such a nice color. So beautiful. I feel like I need to show you a different genus because this is very quickly turning into an Anthurium update. But I do want to do an updated Anthurium collection because I finally feel confident enough to show it. So stay tuned for that. Okay, throwing some variety in there. This is my Hoya villosa, and that is the newest leaf it put out. It's so pretty. If you've never seen a Hoya villosa before, they are like hairy. I don't know if my camera is going to pick up the fuzziness off of this plant, but it's like, oh yeah, you can see it on this leaf right here. It's so fuzzy and soft, and I just absolutely love this Hoya so much. I'm really happy that it's finally growing because it has had flat mites for basically since I got it, and it's finally coming out of that and growing like actual leaves. But you can see that it really struggled to get a growth point to stick. There's lots of like knobby growth right there, which is a pretty telltale sign of flat mites. But yeah, so it is actually also putting out a new leaf. You probably saw that in the close-up. So that's super exciting. I have a couple of Hoya that are really starting to pop off, which is great news. And just since it's here and we're speaking about a Hoya popping off, this is my Hoya obovata splash, variegated splash, something like that. It put out this leaf, which has a really cool like half moon splashiness. The leaf itself is a little bit deformed, which isn't like that fun, but this is the first leaf it's put out that had so much splash on it, which is really exciting. I'm super happy about that. But you can see this one also had flat mites. We have some knobby growth going on, but it has overcome that, and we are starting to get, this is a new leaf, and it has like another leaf growing in off of the other side of that. So I don't know, I'm really excited to see this plant sort of start to thrive now that it might have finally overcome the flat mites. And I'm also considering cutting it and then like propagating it and potting it back in because it is a little bit stringy in places where leaves fell off and didn't make it. So I might want to do that just to make the bottom like a little bit more lush. And Hoya is so easy to propagate. I think I'm going to do that when I get back into the side of plant chores that is more of the experimental type. Right now I'm really just maintaining the collection. So when I get back into changing things up, that will probably be one of the things that I do. As you guys know, we just had a baby, and if you didn't know this, we actually don't live near any of our friends and family. So we did have some family come into town after the baby was born, and they stocked us up on meals. But once we ran out of those meals, Daniel and I kind of looked at each other and we were like, what now? And that is where Green Chef entered the chat. In this big transition, Green Chef has helped us to eat clean and live a healthy lifestyle. Green Chef makes it super convenient because all of the meals just get delivered straight to our door. And these Green Chef meals help me to eat clean ingredients and build healthy eating habits. So Green Chef has tons of delicious, nutritious recipes with clean ingredients like organic fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. They also limit processed ingredients and don't use any artificial colors or sweeteners so you can feel good about the food you eat. So these Green Chef meals come with ingredients that are pre-portioned, pre-chopped, with sauces that are pre-made in-house. You're really just throwing things into your pan and cooking it. You're not having to do really any of the prep work. So if you're interested in simplifying your meal times, you can use my code DELAPLANTS50 to get 50% off plus free shipping. Go to greenchef.com for more details. So those are the big updates, I think, and now I just need to water the bottom half of the cabinet. So I've been breaking up the cabinet into 2 sections, not necessarily intentionally. I would really prefer to water them at the same time because it makes the humidity rise so much. Just watering one section at a time makes it a little bit more manageable for me right now. And the humidity will go up to like 75%, which is pretty good. When I water both sides, it'll go up to like 85 to 90%, and it'll maintain that for a couple of days, and then it'll slowly creep down and like cap out at, or bottom out at like 70 to 75% humidity, which is still amazing. So definitely the trick to keeping this thing humid is obviously to have it be sealed really nicely, but also something is have it be very full. And I always avoided having it be too full because I didn't want like the leaves to overlap all that much. But then I just started letting the leaves overlap slightly more than I normally would so that I could put more in there. And man, it just really took off. The humidity just exponentially higher. I just pulled this out of the cabinet. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. This plant needs to be repotted already. Look at her. Now that the berries are off of this plant here, I really want to repot it. So I'm kind of on the hunt for a very big pot for it because this is, I think, a 12-inch pot, so I'd probably need like 14 or 16 inches. And with that, it definitely will not fit in the cabinet anymore, which is probably the thing that I am most nervous for out of my entire plant collection, because this plant has been thriving in the cabinet. Like this plant is my pride and joy. I love her so much. And I'm so afraid to take her out of the cabinet and have everything, you know, go south. But I do know that if things do go south, I would feel comfortable dedicating an entire shelf in the cabinet to her because I just love her so much. But I'm thinking about putting her on the top of my new shelf that I got a couple weeks ago, right before the baby came. I set that up. I did a video about it if you haven't seen that. So there's the top of it has like a nice like rounded part, and I think it would look really pretty with like one huge magnificent plant. So I was kind of thinking about putting this there, but we'll see. I need to do some pot shopping and see if I could find something. It would be great if I could find one of those 3D printed pots in the right size, but I don't know if they sell them at that size because 14 inches is really big. But you can see we have a really big flower with lots and lots of pollen. So I am really excited to collect this, and I'm not gonna have to store it for very long because the clarinervium is flowering like right now. So I'll just have to wait for it to open up basically in like a few days after it opens up. So I might not even have to store it, but I might just in case. So other than rearranging, I think the next change I'm gonna make to the cabinet is I saw that Soltech is releasing strip lights, and are they strip lights? It's like a pole, and I am really crossing my fingers that there's a size that will fit in the cabinet because I really wanted to use different grow lights in there because the ones that are in there are just very intense. They're really good, but I've had a lot of plants get burned, especially when they get up higher, closer to it. So when I saw that Soltech was releasing those lights, I like freaked out. They're really beautiful. It looks like they like kind of rotate, which is great. I don't know, I'm just super excited to see more about that from them. All of these little Hoya are doing so good. I think all of them have new growth or like are trying, all of them have new growth or roots that are like super visible. So I'm really excited to pull all of these up. They're already in De La tanks, which is great because there's not going to be really any sort of transition stuff. But the only thing is I will be removing them from the cabinet when the time comes that I do that big, because they're all not going to fit in there. But I'm excited because I have a ton of small pots. Okay. I have a ton of small pots that are gonna be pretty perfect for all of these plants. I've actually had to store so many tiny pots lately because my plants are just growing and I haven't bought tiny plants to replace them. So this is actually going to be perfect, but again, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. There are a few plants that I think that I could swap out. Okay, this is not going well. I need to put this down. There are a few plants that I could pretty confidently and happily swap out for those like small pot sections. Like a lot of the plants that are on this shelf next to my sink, I feel like I could move somewhere else and they would be just fine. So, or like combine them with other plants. I'm thinking that I would like this section to be like nice Hoya stuff. So we'll see. This propagation is also doing super well. I did the butterfly method for these linearis, and actually like all my linearis has rooted at this point, and I could probably pot them all up back together to start the process of having a big plant again. But again, that'll probably happen when I'm doing like that type of plant chores stuff. Not anytime soon. Or maybe sometime soon. I don't know. I'm kind of just gonna go off of what feels right whenever I feel ready to do that, because that's the type of plant chore that it's like kind of involved and my hands are gonna get all gross. So if the baby starts crying and she's hungry, that would not be very convenient for me. So here is the cabinet all restocked and done up. There's a lot that I didn't update about in here, like my forgetti finally putting out really pretty leaves, although they keep getting this and I don't know what is up with that. It reminds me of like a bacterial spot situation. So this fan back there, it might not be reaching as much as I thought. I don't know. I did want to put some fans like up in the corners so that I could get more space on the shelves, because those are taking up space and it is kind of annoying to have them there. But anyway, this big old leaf, I have actually positioned it up here so that it would just be up higher, because when it was right in the middle of things, you couldn't really see anything back there. This guy is actually putting out this new leaf, which is exciting. But yeah, there's lots of new stuff going on in here all the time. This fishtail Hoya is looking so full and beautiful. I feel like I should pot this up soon. And then down here, it's just like a mess of leaves. So many leaves going on. So soon enough, I will be doing a little bit of a change up in here. But for now, I wanted to show you just all of that amazing new growth. And yeah, I'm just so proud. It's been really awesome to have all of this. Like, what a view. Thank you very much for watching this video and joining me on another week of my maternity leave videos. If you want to support my channel, the best way to do that is to just keep showing up every Tuesday. And I don't know when I'm going to stop doing that, probably another couple of weeks before I'm ready to make 2 videos a week again. But I'm just really enjoying like casually showing up once a week, and I'm really thankful to read your guys' comments and see your engagement. It really does help YouTube remember me, because when you drop your upload frequency, sometimes YouTube is like, oh, she's done. So anyway, thank you so much for continuing to show up here. It means seriously so much to me. And thanks for also cheering on my plants all the time. You guys are the best support system. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.